So Nicole makes landfall along the east coast of Florida, just south of Vero Beach. Radar imagery from weather radar, center of Nicole. Let's see, just south of Vero Beach, sustained wind 75 miles an hour, and the pressure at 981 millibars. So there it is, the official landfall of Hurricane Nicole in the last few minutes, I would say in the last couple of minutes, from the National Hurricane Center. So just south of Vero Beach along Hutchinson Island. Now it's moving inland. It'll lose the battery, which is the warm waters of the Gulf Stream, as it moves inland and up toward Orlando and the Tampa area. And we have big winds and rain still continuing. So the eye wall is about 40 miles wide at this point. It encompasses Vero, Fort Pierce, just starting to work through Port St. Lucie. So there was a brief period around Port St. Lucie where the winds went light. Now it's starting to really pick up again. But from the west, all these winds in this area are moving from either the northwest or the west, and they're coming offshore, and that should help that storm surge situation. All the water that has piled up the last couple of days along the coast will get a chance to get back into the ocean. The winds across Vero and Sebastian are likely now light. I'll show you some of the wind reports in a second, and so that will help too. We've lost that wind that's been coming in off the ocean, and it will continue to improve the next couple of days. So we have showers, and we have areas of rain around the lake. A lot of the rainfall that we saw earlier in southern Palm Beach County has come to an end. Still obviously some showers, some gusty winds now coming from the west toward the east, all the way up into Stewart and Jensen Beach, an area that's seen persistent rain through the afternoon and evening. There's the back edge, the southern side of that eye wall that is working up through Fort Pierce now, just south of Fort Pierce, and it'll work north in the next couple of hours and eventually off the coast. So we have 40-mile-an-hour winds in Stewart, 22 in Sebastian. The winds have gone very light. Well, not even reporting in Vero and Fort Pierce right now. So this is where that eye is. And as we get into Jupiter and the West Palm area, start to climb a little bit more, coming from the west toward the east. So as it moves across the state, eventually we start to see an improvement here, but it's really going to take a few hours before that happens. I think it'll be mid and late morning before the winds on the Treasure Coast drop down to a reasonable level. At this point, still, from what I understand, we still have the hurricane warning in effect. Coastal East Coast, Palm Beach County. So 441 toward the coastline, hurricane warning, and also hurricane warning for the Treasure Coast. Tropical storm warnings in effect for Okeechobee County and also for inland Palm Beach County. Those will more than likely be discontinued at some point, but right now they are in place. Getting some more wind reports coming out. 74-mile-an-hour wind. Now that's Port Canaveral, so that's just to the north. We've had our wind gusts in the last few hours anywhere from 40 to 60 miles an hour, and most of those have been on the northern Treasure Coast, the Vero, Sebastian, and a little farther north up around Palm Bay. But the current winds with that eye in this area here, making landfall in the last few minutes just south of Vero. Light winds here, they're picking up, or they're still fairly reasonably strong around Sebastian, and we have some good winds coming in from a completely different direction on the southern side of this, around the West Palm and Boynton Beach, and even down around Boca. So Hurricane Nicole makes landfall in the last 5 minutes. Northern Treasure Coast moving inland after that.